Hello, hello, and welcome back to 922. When last we left off, Spencer had just gotten Kurt's phone number after the two of them had explored what seemed to be a fallout shelter together. Let's see what follows that. I can't believe it. Despite my best efforts, I hadn't gotten myself killed. Let's follow the weird guy that we just met into a tunnel. It's gonna be great. Fucking moron. I'm on a bench, sitting a ways away from the Jefferson building. I breathe in. I breathe out. In. Out. I let myself bathe in the handsome surroundings Anna provided. The amber on the ground, the whistle in the air. I mop my brow with the back of my sleeve for the 100th time. Do I really want to go to What's-His-Face's speech? Do I need to? My phone screen is completely black, save for some white digits. I watch them flick into 10:45. 5 more minutes. I'll calm down and then I'll decide. At least I got Kurt's number. I wonder if he has a girlfriend. Spencer, right? Jesus Christ! Sorry. Some kind of feline is grinning at me and making stabbing motions with his outstretched palm. Who am I kidding? I know exactly who this is. Andrew Park. I don't believe we've met? This guy is everywhere. He showed up during orientation despite being an upperclassman, and by the time it ended, he was already everyone's friend. Modern-day Dale Carnegie. Spencer. But you already knew that. Haha. It's a pleasure. Mr. Fisher's speech is about to start, Spencer. Shall we go? He says it with full confidence, like there's no way I'd refuse. God damn it. Sure. I apologize for our message being on such short notice. It was a surprise for us as well. As a result, my colleagues and I have been rounding up students who didn't receive it all morning. The message? Your colleagues? The student council. As in, those seniors that the school employs to keep everyone else in check? Uh-oh. I guess you didn't receive the message, haha. In either case, it's lucky that I found you when I did. I was just about ready to give up and head to the Bell building. And you looked pretty out of it. No offense. I had a rough morning. Sorry to hear. We walk in lockstep. Andrew speaks quickly and with lots of gestures, like he's competing to find the most creative way to fight off a swarm of invisible bees. That's quite the simile there, Spencer. No matter when I check his face, his eyes never seem to leave my face. So much so, actually, that I find it difficult to focus on anything other than the ground. Where are you from, Spencer? Shit, I zoned out. I'm from Toronto. Toronto, really? You've traveled quite a long way. Can't say I've ever been. What brings you all the way out here, Spencer? It's the tuition, mainly. Relatable. Well, don't let the low price tag paint your impressions. You should know that the Harris Institute of Technology is the 7th best institute of technology worldwide. So I've heard. I feel the shakes returning. Any moment now, this guy's gonna tell me he knows I snuck in through that tunnel. That he's gonna put it on my permanent record or whatever, and that he's calling my mom. I have to be honest with you. It's a little embarrassing, but I don't think I've ever even met anyone from Toronto. Excuse me. Could you tell me a little about it? What do you want to know? I don't know. What's the local dish there? The local dish? Yeah, in Toronto. What do you eat? Burgers, mainly, I think. And not everyone. It's a bit of a stereotype. I distinctly remember in an earlier build of this VN, you being able to fill in answers as to where Spencer is from and what they eat in that location, but that is obviously no longer the case. Just a little bit of trivia. Anyway, we eat lots of things. Fascinating. Andrew drills me for information all while we walk. It's as if he's trying to guess the answers to the security questions for my email. Either that, or he hates walking with a stranger in complete silence almost as much as I do. Once we reach the steps of the Bell building, however, he stops and turns to me. Before we go in, Spencer, a few words, if I may. Here it comes. I know that look. He's gonna tell me I fucked up. Your name popped up on our records twice already, and it's only been 2 weeks. Is everything alright, Spencer? Do you need any help? I don't feel pressure to answer now. He pulls out a folded up sheet of printer paper from his pocket, and then he shoves it into my hands. This contains the email addresses and phone numbers of the dean, of your faculty head, and your academic advisor. It also contains the contact details of most members of the student council, including my own. Please call only during office hours, but don't be afraid to send us an email at any time. Jesus Christ, I failed that sentence spectacularly. Let me try that again. Please call only during office hours, but don't be afraid to send us an email at any time of day. Thanks. I'd like to stress that you aren't in trouble. Not yet, anyway. I don't know your circumstances, and it would be harmful for both of us to assume. But please try to make it so that you aren't absent from literally every single morning class. Alright? Huh. Fine. Grand. Now, let's go in. The speech is about to begin. So where is this speech guy, anyway? Fisher? It's 11:01. Andrew's at the seat next to me, cross-legged, giving the empty podium an uncomfortable smile. Not 5 minutes ago, he was just giving me shit for being late. And yet, here we are. Should I say anything? Maybe we're in the wrong place. Or maybe we came in at the wrong time. Despite the Greek columns outside, this place is tiny. And even then, everyone who bothered showing up is diffused in pairs around the room. Wasn't this politician guy supposed to be some kind of big deal? I pulled the phone out of my pocket and... No phones in the classroom. Asshole. So much for that. I'm going to see what's going on. Hmm? Oh, yeah, sure. Go right ahead. He squeezes past me, heads down towards the stage, and disappears behind the curtain. I guess I'm alone now. Ah, whatever. I'll just use this time to relax. So this Andrew guy, he is definitely hiding something, is he not? You'd have to be crazy to think otherwise, right? The way he just so happened to find me right after the tunnel. And now he recognized my face and called me by name. Now that I think about it, he claims to have seen my record. If that's true, then how come he doesn't know where I'm from? And what's with the paper he gave me? Does he always keep a copy of everyone's numbers in his pocket? Does he often give it away? No, it doesn't make sense. There's no other explanation. Andrew's deal is that either I've broken the law and he's trying to get me to confess, or Kurt has broken the law and he's trying to get me to snitch. Or maybe he's just a stalker who's trying to get in my pants. Yeah, definitely. What a creep. So what am I going to do about it? Is there anything that I even can do? I'm at a disadvantage here. After all, he represents the authority. He has his council behind him. And the school. There's no way around it. I'll just have to keep playing his little game. Spencer? Did you fall asleep? Ugh. Hold on. Fuck. I'm sorry. Could you come with me for a moment? What's going on? How should I say this? It's a little bit silly, but it concerns Mr. Fisher. It would appear that he's gone. Andrew leads me down towards the stage, but instead of climbing it like he did last time, he takes a sharp turn and pushes open the fire exit next to it. I'm surprised to learn there's more to this building than just auditoriums. We pass by classroom after empty classroom. Our footsteps echo through the empty hall. We reach classroom 107. The door is closed, and muffled voices can be heard from within. Andrew knocks once and enters without waiting for an answer. I follow suit. Professor Clifford Reed, my sociology professor, is here. Beside him stand two men wearing identical baseball caps and identical plastic jackets. The unmistakable outlines of guns bulge out from their back pockets. They cut their conversation and stare at me. Reed stares at me too. We'll keep in touch. Reed follows them to the door. Once they're out, he holds the door closed behind them in silence with his head down. I count along with him. He waits almost exactly 30 seconds before turning to face us again. Spencer Swain. He accentuates every consonant in that nasally voice of his that all weedy old men have. It's hard to tell whether this guy's wide-eyed expression is because he's surprised to see me. Normally in his lectures, he almost never blinks. That's him. Do you know one another? Yes, to an extent. You don't have to be cryptic about it, Professor. I'm in your class. Mr. Swain, I called you here because I have a few questions. Why don't you have a seat? He gestures at the desk next to the whiteboard. I promise I won't take much of your time. Andrew hops onto a nearby table. Reed remains standing, looking at the floor and allegedly thinking to himself. I guess I was wrong about Andrew hating long silences. He certainly has no issue with letting Reed drag this out. Mr. Reed? That's Professor, young man. He wets his lips before speaking. This morning, did you meet with Mr. Nelson Fisher? What? The politician guy? I steal a glance at Andrew, and he's just smiling at me. No? Perhaps, then, a relative you hadn't seen in a long time? Or any other strange man? Is he talking about Kurt? Better play it safe. No. I got up late and went straight to school. Sorry. Reed chews on his cheek for a moment. What about last week? Or the week before that? I shake my head. Park, how many mornings was he absent from class? 8 times. 8 times! And you want me to believe you overslept those times too? My heartbeat begins to accelerate, so I instinctively force myself to slow down my breath. What's wrong with him all of a sudden? I said I was sorry. I have chronic insomnia. I'm sure that if you checked your records... I gesture with my head at Andrew. You would have known this by now. Insomnia, huh? Right, of course you do. Park, did you know about this? I... will write it down, and tell his advisor too. Reed turns his back to me and walks off to stare at the nearest wall. Mr. Swain, you're free to go. Wait, what? That's it? Hang on, what's... Park, go fetch the other one. The other one? Yes, sir. Oh, for fuck's sake. Hey! What the fuck's going on? Andrew's eyes dart between Reed's back and me. I'm afraid we can't divulge any further information, Spencer. Now, please, if you could just tell him. It will be all over the news tomorrow anyway. There's a man. He's posing as Mr. Fisher. We've been informed that that is not the case. And we haven't yet been able to contact the real Mr. Fisher at this time. What's more, well, we don't know if the two are connected. Andrew's voice drops to almost a whisper, and, for the first time ever, his eyes tear away from mine. A student has been found dead not far from campus. Strangled, it would appear. The authorities are already involved, and... Spencer, if you have any information that you feel is in any way useful, anything unusual, even small things that are out of place, please let us know. What the fuck? You can't just drop that kind of thing onto someone and immediately tell them to fuck off. Andrew's too fake to even call it my name. But it is what it is, isn't it? A murder. Damn. I heard those were common around here. Never would have thought I'd get involved in one so soon. Guess I should be thankful for not meeting anyone at orientation. Thankful for standing at a corner for 2 hours, pretending to mess with my phone. Too much a piece of shit to speak to anyone. Ugh. Not this again. Could you imagine? You get to know someone, put in the effort, and then 2 weeks later, they have the gall to go off and get themselves killed. God, I'm so fucked. Sure did find a good day to sneak into school. Reed knows. Sneaky fucker. He must think he's so smart for not asking me directly how I got into school. Of course they have cameras set up around the bomb shelter. Did you see how fast Andrew found me? And I even went out of my way to speak to that guard. Fuck. Should have just went back to the dorm when I could. Alright, Spencer. Settle down. Breathe. Let's look at it logically. Sneaking in is probably not as bad as murder. And they made it abundantly clear they don't think it's me. So at worst, it's, what, breaking and entering? I wasn't even the one doing the breaking. That was Kurt. Ugh, fuck, I'm gonna barf. Kurt. That was a real weird line of questioning Reed pulled there. Was he trying to get me to say that Kurt's pretending to be Fisher? Or, what was it, that he's claiming to be my long-lost cousin or something like that? Reed wanted to know about this guy that's been going around as Fisher. That's the murderer, in their eyes. And the other one. That must refer to Kurt. Is Kurt the murderer here? Is that what's going on? He fits the profile, doesn't he? A male in his 20s. Has a problem with authority. Listens to shitty music. Oh, God. No, shut up. This doesn't make any sense. Kurt had plenty of opportunities to kill me. He could have led me into one of those shitty side rooms in the shelter. He could have easily overpowered me. Slit my throat and left me where I fell. You've seen how filthy that place is, haven't you? It'll be years until my body is found. And look, right? Reed sent fucking Andrew to go fetch him. If he suspected Kurt was the murderer, he wouldn't have sent him, would he? Where are you going, Spencer? Who? Me? I guess I'm a little dizzy. Don't worry, that's fine. I just need a moment to cool down.